A list of episode titles and air dates for the upcoming season 13 of Bob's Burgers was just tweeted out by Bob's Burgers Quotes on Twitter. We all had a lot of fun speculating on what the episodes could be about, discussing which titles we're most excited for. There were of course some titles that caught my attention, so we're going to go over each episode one by one and talk about when the episode will be airing, the title of the episode, and maybe make up some theories on what the episode could be about. There are already some interesting theories and rumors surrounding the episode, so stick around to hear about them. That being said, Bob's Burgers episode titles sometimes have very little to do with the content of the episode, so bear that in mind. These theories could be way off. Be sure to let me know if you have any theories of your own in the comments below. The first episode on the list is To Bob or Not to Bob. This episode is set to air on September 25th, 2022. A short description of the episode was supposedly confirmed by Fox and is as follows, quote, Bob, Linda, and the kids help Mr. Fishoder put on a play to get his brother Felix to confess to a theft, end quote. And apparently there will be a side story that's something to do with Louise being jealous of Tina's hands. The main plot seems pretty straightforward here, but I'll go ahead and speculate on some of the details. I guess Mr. Fishoder suspects Felix has stolen something, probably from him, and he probably mentions it to the Belchers. I assume they're the ones who came up with the idea of putting on a play because that doesn't seem like something Mr. Fishoder would think of, right? As for the B story, I'm not too sure. Maybe Louise is jealous that Tina has stronger hands, or perhaps Tina has a skill that Louise does not. I was reminded about season 11's Fingers Loose, wherein Tina fell into the underground hand dancing scene, so that's a known skill of hers. Up next is episode 2, The Reeky Lake Show, set to air on October 2nd. The title is a parody of The Reeky Lake Show, an American talk show that ran from 93 to 04, but also started up again in 2012. Of course, with the word Ricky being replaced with Reeky, I would imagine we'll have a smellier theme. The original show was hosted by Ricky Lake and was a pretty standard daytime talk show, but usually focused on goading someone into a confession about themselves on stage or otherwise confronting them with an unpleasant surprise.
If you think only women are prostitutes, you are wrong.
The 2012 version of the show was different, however, and was under the Fox TV production umbrella, and of course, so is Bob's Burgers. Could mean that the episode will be based around this version of the show, which was more of a standard talk show, but revolved around topics as seen through the eyes of a younger person going through life. So let's get into the theory zone. If it's based on the first version of the show, I can see the Belchers trying to trick someone into confessing something or confronting them about something, maybe something smelly. But if it's the second version of the show, it could just be focused on seeing the drama of some standard life event as experienced by the Belcher kids. I'm not sure if the lake or show part of the title will be more deeply involved. It could be visiting a lake or putting on a show, who knows. Episode 3 is titled What About Job and airs October 9th. The title is likely a parody of the 1991 film What About Bob, a comedy about a guy named Bob who has a bunch of phobias and disorders and ends up going through great lengths to invade the privacy of his therapist. It's a classic. As far as the episode of Bob's Burgers goes, not much can be speculated. Maybe something to do with Teddy following Bob around, or the title could have just been used as a generic placeholder since it's not very descriptive. Let me know if you have any theories on this one. Number 4 is Comet-y of Errors, airing October 16th. The title is a parody of Shakespeare's The Comedy of Errors, a play about twins who were separated at birth. Each is unaware of the other until they coincidentally end up in the same town. People get them confused for one another, there's a bunch of mix-ups, and chaos ensues. Since they've added the word comet into the episode will likely include a comet. However, there hasn't been much news about comets lately, so it's hard to say how it will be incorporated into the episode. My theory would be that with the origin of the title, it could have something to do with twins, perhaps Andy and Ollie Pesto, unless someone has a twin we don't know about. Episode 5 is Apple Gore-chard, but not Gory, and airing October 23rd, this sounds a lot like our Halloween episode. Other than that, not much can be said about this one. If you compare the title to the first episode of season 10, The Ring But Not Scary, it may suggest that this won't be a heavily Halloween-themed Halloween episode. Granted, that episode aired in late September and not so close to Halloween. There's not much speculation surrounding episode 6, So You Stink You Can Dance, airing November 6th. The title is a parody of So You Think You Can Dance, a reality TV dance competition show. With that in mind, there's a couple of different ways this episode could go. We know that Tina has multiple dancing romantic partners, Jimmy Jr. and Josh, who were both featured dancers in season 3's 2 for Tina. We also know that both Gene and his friend Alex were featured as roller dancing partners with Courtney in season 9's Roller I Hardly Know Her. But we also know that basically everyone in the series has danced at one point or another. Turns out dancing is a pretty big part of the show. So we can guess that someone is in a dance competition of some kind, and that's pretty much it. Let me know who you think it might be. On to episode 7, Ready Player Gene, airing November 13th. The title is likely a parody of Ready Player One, a book by Ernest Cline, which was later adapted to film as directed by Steven Spielberg. The original story takes place in a dystopian future where everyone plays a virtual reality game that contains a bunch of hidden secrets. It was a pretty good story, I recommend it, but here's my theory. Because of the title, I like to imagine this episode will revolve around Gene finding some kind of game, probably a video game that he ends up getting addicted to, but maybe that's too on the nose. Episode 8 is simply titled Putsgiving and airs on November 20th. Obviously, this will be a Thanksgiving episode and airs just 4 days before the holiday. The putt in the title probably refers to golf or mini golf, but beyond that, I don't know. Golf has been referenced at a few different points in the series.
It's like a huge miniature golf course.
The windmills are gonna be enormous!
But not in such a way that I can comfortably speculate on this episode. Episode 9 is Show Mama from the Grave, airing November 27th. I really couldn't think of what this episode might be. Don't forget to let me know if you have any ideas. We have episode 10, The Plight Before Christmas, on December 4th. The title is a parody of The Night Before Christmas, and it sounds like this will be our Christmas episode for the season. Other than that, Christmas and something bad happens. I don't have much to go off of. Episode 11 is Cheatty Bang Bang on December 11th. The title is a parody of Cheatty Bang Bang, which was a novel from 1964, a movie in 1968 about a magical car. There's also an episode of Veronica Mars titled Cheatty Bang Bang on 2005, but I'm gonna venture to say that this is unrelated to Bob's Burgers. With the title, it's fair to speculate that the episode revolves around someone cheating at something. If you want to go deeper, it may be a race of some kind, like Season 5's Speakeasy Rider. Episode 12 is Oh Row You Didn't on January 8th. Sounds like this episode will have something to do with rowing, believe it or not. There are a lot of boats in this sea town, so it's hard to know what to expect. There have been a few different episodes in the series with the same naming scheme as well, which kind of makes it even less predictable. Episode 13 is Stop, or My Mom Will Sleuth on January 15th. The title of this one is a parody of the 92 film Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot, which is about a detective whose visiting mother gets caught up in one of his cases. With this in mind, it's pretty easy to imagine Linda dragging one of the kids along on some kind of investigation. That being said, we also know about Sergeant Bosco's mom, Lillian, from a couple of episodes, so maybe there's some potential there. Episode 14, These Boots Are Made for Stalking, January 22nd. The title is a parody of These Boots Are Made for Walking, but other than that, again, there isn't much to go off of. Louise likes to sneak around, her dearest friend Millie likes to stalk, Tina likes to stalk boys. I could see it going a lot of different ways. Episode 15, The Show and Tell Must Go On, March 5th. The main idea with this one is pretty obvious. Someone is having a show and tell. If we get a little deeper into the title, the show must go on is something commonly said when something goes wrong during a show, so I could theorize maybe someone is having a great idea for a show and tell project and something goes wrong. Episode 16, Crow's Encounters of the Bird, March 12th. I believe there's a parody of the 1977 film Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which sees aliens messing around with people from space before landing on Earth and subsequently leaving for no reason. Naturally, the title would have me believe that there will be birds involved, probably crows. We've seen in the past that Bob has a fear of birds, so maybe we'll see some more of that, but since that was kind of resolved in that episode, I don't think that'll be the case. Maybe we're just going to see the Belchers battling pesky birds. Episode 17, Gift Card or Buy Trying, March 19th. Another one that lacks details. Sounds like someone is either trying to use a gift card. I know my wife and I receive gift cards all the time, and we pretty much never get to use them no matter how hard we try. It's a real issue.
Date night tonight!
Or maybe they're just trying to get a gift card. Maybe some kind of contest. Let me know what you think. Episode 18, What a April Fool Believes, March 26th. Sounds like the Belchers are going to be up to some April Fool's shenanigans. Someone will either be getting pranked or maybe just having a bad start to their month in general. The title for this one is a parody of What a Fool Believes, a song famously performed by the Doobie Brothers. Episode 19, Crab-solutely Fabulous, April 23rd. This one kind of has me stumped. We know that Season 1's Lobster Fest aired near the same time as this one, so that may have something to do with the crab in the title. Maybe a Lobster Fest fashion show? Episode 20, Radio No You Didn't, April 30th. This may be a coincidence, but Season 9, Episode 9 shared the same naming scheme, being called UFO No You Didn't, and in this episode the kids built a radio telescope attempting to communicate with aliens. This episode title includes radio, so maybe we're following up on that. Other than that, Season 9 introduced Bob's radio DJ hero, Clem Clements, in Episode 19, longtime listener, first time Bob, so we do have an established connection there. Episode 21, Mother Author Laser Pointer, May 7th. For this one, maybe Louise and Linda do laser tag again. The title and air date would have me believe that this is the Mother's Day episode, but many are theorizing that the last episode of the season will be that episode. Which brings me to the last item on today's list. Episode 22, Amelia, airing May 14th. The final episode is expected by many to be an emotional one and has gotten a lot of theories surrounding it despite having very little information to go off of. This is what people are saying should be the Mother's Day episode, and the simple title has us asking, who is Amelia? If it is the name of someone's mother, whose mother could it be? There are some moms that we have not yet met, but creator of the show, Lauren Bouchard, confirms on Twitter that it is not related to Bob's mom. Could it be regular sized Rudy's, or perhaps the never before seen wife/ex-wife of Jimmy Pesto? Let me know what you think. I'm excited to see what happens. Well, that's the end of this list. Don't forget to comment below what you think. Let me know what episodes you're looking forward to, or if you have any theories that are better than mine. Some of these I feel like I just went off the rails. I'd love for someone to make sense of these crazy titles for me. Thanks for watching.